Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cinema Savvy. It is I, Tate, with a very brief reaction. This one isn't a full review. This one is a instant reaction to watching The Killer. Now, the reason why I'm only doing an instant reaction, and normally we would have a full-on review, or at least a shortened review here on the channel, is because we, of course, have our David Fincher Retrospective out. George still hasn't seen the film yet. We're probably going to do a full-on in-depth analysis of it later on down the line. So this is like a spoiler-free kind of clean slate, just quick chat about the film, just so that we're on the same page, just so we know what we're going into when you're going to go and see this at the cinema. So before we go into this, of course, this is The Killer. This is David Fincher's new film. This is what me and George, we've been building up to on the channel for the last few weeks now, almost a month now. And the retrospective is still going to go on, so please go and check out the retrospective videos because they've been so much fun throughout, being involved in pretty much all of them. And this is, of course, his new film. The build-up to this, we made this series just so we could get this film reviewed. But before we go into actual, the brief review that I'm going to go into it, please go and follow us on our socials because then you'll see all of our other reviews. You'll go onto our YouTube channel, you go and see, all of our other Fincher Retrospective reviews. And also, please go and, of course, follow us on the social medias because you'll find out about all of these reviews coming out. You'll find out about all of the films that I'm seeing at the festival, all the films that George is seeing at the festival. And we'll keep you updated on our Facebook. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter. We'll keep you updated on our Instagram. And go and follow us on Letterboxd as well because that link is there as well. Go follow us on the Redbubble description link as well, just because, it's fun to, support the channel and everything like that. Wear some merch. Which I haven't actually been supporting this year at the film festival. I do have some with me, but I've just got back and wanted my instant reaction to The Killer. So let's go straight into this. First of all, and this is very important, we'll go through the plot synopsis very quickly because it does reveal a little bit about the plot. After a fateful near miss, an assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal. This film stars Michael Fassbender, pretty much with an assassin's hit gone wrong. And then it's kind of the cleanup afterwards. And the first kind of 20 minutes is the mission, is the thing. And then the film is split up into 6 chapters. And basically you follow through kind of the stages after shit goes south, basically. It's phenomenal. It's good in its own sense of the fact that it's a Fincher film and stuff like that. I do have some gripes with this film, but to say that, and I've kind of already written this down as a note thing, it's not my favorite Fincher film. It's definitely not one of the best Fincher films. It's kind of, a second tier Fincher film. But even then, it's still a good film. His kind of catalogs of films, the films that he's made, it's so hard to say, oh, yes, this is one of his best because there's like 5. So it's really hard to rank this as far as where you'd put it in your rankings. Not only that, but it's very well shot. It's got the standard Fincherisms, the dark kind of, hue of it all, the very close up, like close-ups and shit like that. It is a brilliant film as far as Fincher is concerned. He makes good films. He makes very good films. And seeing as we've done the retrospective, you kind of go over it and you recognize all these different film traits that he brings into it. And this is, once again, a Fincher film in that sense. What he does bring to it is Fassbender. And Fassbender is a fascinating character in this film as the killer. Not given a name. He's given multiple aliases, which is kind of like a running joke throughout the film. There's like 20 different aliases he takes on as he travels the globe, kind of doing his cleanup and stuff like that. And his character is so cold and disconnected from the world. It's fascinating. I'm not saying that other actors couldn't play this role. What I'm saying is it's brilliant that Fassbender did it because he's not had exactly the best run of form recently. And this is a definite return to form. It seems like the festival of return to forms. Tom Hardy returning to form, Michael Fassbender returning to form. So it's good to see his character role of this kind of man of very few words, kind of skulking about the place, secretly going to, infiltrating different places just to kind of get his target and stuff like that. And I do want to point out this film is called The Killer. Yes, there are killings in it. Yes, please be aware there are very brutal killings in this film. I haven't seen Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as we're recording this. I only assume Girl with the Dragon Tattoo has things like this in it, from what I've heard about that film. It's very difficult to compare this to anything else other than I really could not pin it. It's brutal. It is brutal. Um, and his character, just like most Fincher protagonists, is cold and calculating, and the John Doe type, not a man of many words, and the Mark Zuckerberg kind of disconnected from society of it all. It's a really fascinating combination, and yeah, he absolutely kind of makes the best of it, shall we say. We do have a litany of various different other people in the film, so good performances from Charles Parnell playing the lawyer. He's brilliant in the kind of scenes that he's in. We've also got Tilda Swinton making an appearance in this film, which was fascinating to see as well. And you've got just a few characters popping in and out who make their impact at the right time of the film. I will say straight away, it's not my favorite from the festival so far. Absolutely is my favorite from the festival so far. And the ending, I wasn't a fan of. This film does a very good job of building up tension throughout the entire film and keeping that tension running and flowing. And I just feel like the ending didn't have as much tension as I wanted it to have. It wasn't like a ramp up like Seven. It's more kind of like a petering out into an epilogue, shall we say. And it kind of caught me by surprise by that. The film flowed very quickly. I was shocked by kind of the runtime. I'm sat in the cinema, and then suddenly I was like, wow, this film's going, whoa, 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 it's doing this, it's doing that, and stuff like that. And then suddenly it was like, oh, when it's ended, oh, okay. I was kind of, I thought it could go on for a little bit longer. I wanted it to go on for a little bit longer, kind of thing. And maybe that was why I was a little bit disappointed with the ending. I feel like they could have done more, especially towards kind of the end of the film. At the end of the film, you see a lot of prep work, and then I just feel like it doesn't pay off. But I don't want to talk too much about this film because, of course, we're going to be going fully in depth into the music, which was fantastic. The cinematography, which was, once again, it's Fincher does so many different shots, and so many different takes that the cinematography has to be perfect every single time. So, of course, the cinematography is great. And we'll talk about the characters a little bit more in depth. We'll talk about kind of everything about the film when we go through it in our full-on Fincher retrospective. So we will push towards that at a later time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this kind of initial blast reaction of this film, The Killer, which will be coming out on Netflix November 10th, I want to say. So please keep an eye out for that, as it is going to be available soon. And we will be doing, once again, a full-on review once George has seen it and once the retrospective is over, so that we've got kind of every ground covered and we've completed that saga of this year's reviews, shall we say. But anyway, please go and follow us on our socials over here. If you want to follow us for the festival things, we've got Twitter thread going, which we'll be able to kind of keep track of it and everything like that. And yeah, please go follow us on Facebook and on Instagram as well, because we'll try and keep updated on those different things when we're at the festival and everything like that. If you want to keep kind of in contact with our social lives when we're at this festival and everything like that, those will be all on those things. Twitter is going to be more of kind of, this is what film we're watching, blah, 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 kind of thing. So please go and do that there. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this kind of blast review of The Killer, which is going to be coming to Netflix very soon by David Fincher. And I guess we'll see you on the big review when we go through that, which will be definitely longer than me chatting for 10 minutes on my own. It'll probably be closer to an hour or maybe even more long as we proper in-depth discuss it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.